Whack them boogie. Make your body move. Let's go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. We are so pleased to welcome you back in person for the 21st annual DGC Awards Gala. Bienvenue au 21e Gala des Prix de la Guilde. Please join me in giving a warm West Coast welcome to the President of the Directors Guild of Canada, Warren Sonoda.
Hello and welcome. I'm very excited to welcome you all to the first ever West Coast DGC Awards and welcome you back in person in Vancouver. We're here. I would like to begin on behalf of the Directors Guild of Canada and DGC BC by acknowledging we gather here tonight and work each day on the unceded and traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam nations. I'd also like to acknowledge the DGC really believes Indigenous narrative sovereignty is important, and a look at the absolutely stunning nominated films tonight just reveals how exciting and engaging these stories and storytellers are. Please check them out. And also, yes, watch the films. I'd personally like to remember filmmaker Jeff Barnaby, who lost his battle with cancer this year, but he did leave us with the absolutely brilliant Rhymes for Young Ghouls and Blood Quantum. Yes. I miss you, Jeff. I truly wish we had more stories from you. But we are here, and we originally planned to bring this gala in 2020 to Vancouver, which was like 20 years ago. And standing here tonight and looking out at everyone and of the sessions that we had today and the discussions we've had, I think it's not, I don't think it's possible to think of this without the challenges that we faced these past 2 years. And I'm thankful for the solidarity, strength, and resolve of our members that got us through these times. Thank you, DGC members in the House. I'd also like to thank Alan Harmon and DGC BC for having us in your hometown, brother. We said we're going to do it, and we did it. Also for sponsoring our awesome after party upstairs in the D6 Lounge after the show. Alan's not actually sponsoring, but DGC BC is. See you all up there. And in the spirit of the West, I'd like to thank the star of Corner Gas and 6-time CSA and Gemini winner, Saskatchewan's very own Brent Butt, who also graciously stepped in when we needed him most. Thank you, Brent. We're going to hear from him very shortly. Woo! I'd also like to thank our stellar awards team, our juries, and all those who voted for curating an exemplary list of nominees and winners from a record number of submissions, the most we've ever had. So keep those movies and short films and docs coming. And finally, I'd like to say this is a special awards gala, not just because we are in BC, but we are, but because we are inaugurating the new DGC Impact Award and rededicating the DGC Discovery Award in the name of Guild Director Jean-Marc Vallée. Congratulations to all the nominees tonight, and I look forward to celebrating with you all. Enjoy the evening.
DGC members, nominees, and special guests, please welcome Brent Butt.
Hello, hello everybody. How are you? Did you enjoy your dinner? Wasn't that fantastic? Very impressive. I don't know how the hell you feed 400 people at the same time and make it all good and delicious and hot. At home, I'm impressed if both pieces of toast pop up at once. I'm like, look what I did. Anyway, thanks for inviting me to be part of the festival here after Eric McCormack canceled. I don't know, some of you may or may not know that Eric McCormack was originally scheduled. He was going to come out here and do a performance for you, and then something came up. He had to cancel. And so when Eric McCormack bailed, they just got on the horn. They said, well, let's get Canada's second handsomest actor. Alan Doyle was also busy, so they just kept going down till they landed on me. I don't know who the hell they would have called if I was busy. But I like to think there was someone. That's a hell of a handle. Least handsome actor in Canada. Put that on a business card. But it's good to be here. Told a friend of mine that I was doing a show tonight for the DGC, the Directors Guild of Canada, and he was like, oh my God, you're performing for a room full of directors? That's a lot of pressure. And I was like, why? And he goes, well, if you bomb, nobody's going to put you in their movies. I'm like, my phone is ringing off the hook now? I've never actually considered myself to be an actor. I think neither has anyone else, so it worked out. My background, you know, I'm a greasy nightclub comedian, right? I spent the first 20 years of my career just, you know, standing on pool tables, entertaining bikers, and getting paid in chicken wings and ass kicking. So forgive me if I'm not that intimidated playing a place where they had a carrot medley on the menu tonight. But for someone who hasn't, you know, never really set out to be an actor, I've actually done a fair amount of acting, surprisingly. I've been at this a long time. I acted on a show called Millennium in the previous millennium. I've been at this a while. But, so having a career that spanned a while now, you know, I'm a middle-aged guy. If I live to be 112, I'm a middle-aged guy. I've been at this a while. So I've been fortunate enough to work with a number of directors over the years, and I will share this with you. This is easily the #1 direction that I've gotten from directors over the years. Honest to God, I've probably heard this from 7 directors over the years. This is the big direction. They come up to me and they go, okay, that was good. Let's do another one where you're less cartoony. That's honest to God. I didn't even know cartoony was a word till I started trying to act. And I've heard it 7 times since. P.S. I don't think I've ever been able to do it less cartoony. That's my thing. I got a giant face. How am I going to not be cartoony? Come on. But that's the thing I've learned with you directors, you know. You'll say that a lot. You'll come up and you'll go, that was good, but... Directors they feel if they start with, if you start by saying that was good, but you can follow it up with any manner of cruelty you want. Somehow that little couching it in any, you know, that was good, but just green lights anything else. You guys will come up to actors after a take, you'll go, that was good, no, it was good, but could we do one that's actually good? No, that was good, but let's try one where you just dial back the glaring lack of talent. Dial that back. That was good. That was a good take, but let's try one where it seems more like you've read the script. Let's try one like that. Just try one where it seems like you understand the scene and the premise of what a story is. Let's do one like that. Yeah. You laugh with the group, for God's sakes. So they're in from Newfoundland. They're getting it a half hour later than it's the time zone thing. It's not their fault. It's a damn time zone thing. But yeah, get a lot of, you directors, you know, sometimes you'll hear actors will come up and they'll say, you know, I just want a director that is honest and to the point. And I'm here to say, no, you don't. You really don't want that. Because I made a list. There's kind of a code that directors speak. They say one thing, it kind of translates into something else. So if you'll bear with me, I kind of made a brief list that this was last minute, so I just put down a few here. These are things that directors say on set, translated to what they actually mean. As an option. You'll hear that. You'll hear directors say, yeah, that's good. But as an option translates to, since what you just did will never make it into this film or any other film that wasn't shot on a phone. Let's pick up the pace. That's the big, you hear that from directors. Let's pick up the pace. Let's pick up the pace translates to, could we do it with less acting? Not so much acting. You're acting when you turn the doorknob, you're acting when you open the doorknob, less acting. That's what it comes down to. I'd like to go again. I've heard that from a lot of actors. I've heard from a lot of directors. I'd like to go again. That translates to someone messed up. Someone effed up. I don't want to say who, but the first AD will. All right? It's good to have that first AD there. Some of you probably, how many directors here came through the path of being a first AD? Anybody? Are there any first ADs here? It's a special breed. It's impressive. It's a special breed of person to be a first AD. That's a very unique human being. Because a first AD has to have a tremendous sense of logistics and be able to intimidate a key grip. That's a short list of people on the planet that can do that. By the way, while we're on the topic, why is it key grips have to look like they moonlight as hired killers? What is that about? Every key grip I've ever seen, it's like a hitman, but wearing cargo shorts. What the hell's that about? You'll hear a director say, did we catch the boom in shot? Did we catch the boom? They always say it very polite. Did we catch the boom in shot? What that translates to is, why was the entire microphone and 2 feet of boom pole in the shot? Seriously, is the sound guy new? I saw his elbow in frame. His elbow shouldn't be. That's when you know you got a bad boom guy. Elbows in frame. How is that for sound? I've heard directors say that. How is that for sound? That just translates to who farted. Really, that's what that was. That's all that. That's universal. And when a director says, somebody just groaned at that. Somebody who's never farted just groaned at that. When you hear a director say, I've got a few irons in the fire, that means I'm talking to a producer about a script and I also just applied to prep cook at the keg. That's what that, you gotta have a few irons in the fire, right? You gotta. But anyway, that's how that goes. Thanks for inviting me to be part of the soiree. And as I understand it, this is the first time, as I understand it, if I've heard right, this is the first time that the Directors Guild Awards are being held outside Toronto. I think it's nice of the DGC to deign to come to the largest production facility in the country. It's not a bad idea. Some would say high time, because that's how it goes, right? It's in terms of production, it's LA, New York, Vancouver, Regina, I believe. Maybe at one. There used to be a fair amount of production in Regina. They got a big, beautiful, custom-built studio and everything there, and then some producer or some politician decided it was like, I know how to score cheap political points, and they cut the tax credits and everybody had to move, and now I think the studio holds canola. I think it's a horizontal granary now. Everybody had to move. So we have people here from, it's the Directors Guild of Canada, so a lot of people, I assume, are like myself. You're from somewhere, not a showbiz facility, not a showbiz center, and then you've moved to get into the business. Is that right? We have people here from the East Coast. Anybody here from the Maritimes? No, nobody? All right, we'll keep moving on. I was just out in the Maritimes. I love it out there. If you've never been, you got to get out to the East Coast. It's one of the most beautiful places in the country. I love it. We were in Newfoundland, I love going to Newfoundland, but you feel kind of stupid as a comedian because everybody in the crowd is 10 times funnier than I'll ever be in my life. It's like a workshop. I'm taking notes. What thing can I say? Prince Edward Island, beautiful, beautiful. Whole province about the size of this stage. It's fantastic. Here's the thing I love about PEI, if you've never been. Every other place you go in the country, right? It'd be like you're driving on the highway, it'll say like Thunder Bay, 500 kilometers, Edmonton, 210 kilometers, Winnipeg, 86 kilometers. Prince Edward Island, the road signs just have arrows. No numbers. Charlottetown is that way. It's an island, you'll hit it. Relax, what are you talking about? If your wheels get wet, back up a bit. But I'm glad you're all able to make it out here to the West Coast. Welcome, bienvenue. I've been here for 30 years, almost 30 years, living in Vancouver. I am originally from Saskatchewan. People ask that because of corner gas and because I still refer to a hoodie as a bunny hug. But I've been here for 30 years. I love it. I hope you stick around and enjoy the city. Thanks very much for inviting me to be about. We'll see you again.
From Roast Battle Canada and straight from the writer's room on the latest series from Rami Youssef, please welcome Salma Hindi, alongside DGC production designer and veteran of films such as Spider-Man Far From Home and X-Men Dark Phoenix, Claude Paré.
Please remain seated. Remain seated. That's all right.
Good evening, all. It is an honor to be presenting tonight as some of Canada's most talented creatives compete for the most sought-after prize the world of BC film and television has to offer. The parking spot at the CBC freed up after David Suzuki's retirement, so that's up for grabs.
We're very lucky to do the jobs we do and are extremely privileged to be here tonight to celebrate it. Tout le monde du Canada est représenté ici ce soir et nous espérons repartir avec toutes les statuettes. Our first talented creatives in competition tonight are the nominees for Best Sound Editing, Comedy, or Family Series. The nominated productions for Best Sound Editing, Comedy, and Family Series are Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock, Moonshine, Son of a Critch, Children Ruin Everything, and the winners are
John Douglas Smith, Kayla Stewart, Paul Talbot for Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock.
Congratulations. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Whew, a lot of people here. DGC, thank you for having us. Very fortunate to work with this crew. Young, talented, some young. Thanks, Sound Dogs. Thank you, Formosa, Paul Talbot, who isn't here, Paul Ackerley, Paul Schubad, Mike Warnick. If I forgot anybody? I don't have any jokes. No, thank you so much. Real honor, appreciate it. Cheers.
lots of people here, isn't it? Next up is Best Picture Editing for Comedy or Family Series. And our next comedy nominees, cut their episode with a sense of pace, every bit as sharp as the comic timing of their writers and cast.
The nominees for Best Picture Editing, Comedy, or Family Series are Sam Thompson, Sort of, Episode 101. Craig Webster and Sam Thompson, sort of, episode 108. Shelley Tyrian, The Hardy Boys. Kyle Martin, Letterkenny. Lee Walker, Astrid and Lily Save the World. And the winner is...
Sorry, just going to say that episode 101 means that it took them a long time to figure it out, isn't it? It's like... Lee Walker, Astrid and Lily Save the World.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, this is ridiculous. This is amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be recognized by my peers and to be nominated with all these other amazing editors. I want to thank a lot of people. The creators and showrunners, Noelle Simon and Betsy Van, as well as Samantha Levine, Danishka Esterhazy, and the rest of the producing team at Blue Ice Pictures. I want to thank the director, Audrey Cummings, because she's an amazing director and a master at directing thrillers and horror, and I learned so much from her. I also want to thank my post team, the post supervisor, Spencer Han, the composer, Amy Basada, and our assistant editors, Sam Ellens and Naboisha Vuka Dubrovnik, because let's face it, editors are nothing without their assistants. And that's it. Thank you very much.
This next category is Claude's expertise, so I'm going to bring him up.
So I'm absolutely, yeah, it's my expertise, but you know, all these people who do the same job I do are very dedicated, passionate, and we try to do our best to help the movie get better. So the nomination is about, yes, thank you, comedy and family series. And the nominees for that category, Best Production Design Comedy or Family Series, are Zoe Sakelaropoulos for The Bold Type, Tim Bider for Pretty Hard Cases, Liz Bishop, Son of a Critch, and Zoe Sakelaropoulos for Ghost, and Chris Crane, who I met in the elevator coming down here, for Sort of. And the winner is...
Zoe Sakelaropoulos for Ghosts.
Zoe here? Oh, there she is.
Give it up for Zoe, everyone.
Thank you. My long last name, and I'll to be very brief. Thank you. Merci beaucoup.
You got the teleprompter, though.
Oh?
You got the teleprompter.
No, I don't swear. I'm good. Thank you. Good night.
From the chilling adventures of Sabrina and the Netflix thriller Hypnotic, now welcoming Lucy Guest alongside CSA and DGC award-winning director Helen Shaver.
All Our next category includes nominees ranging from classics revisited like Fraggle Rock and the Hardy Boys to fantastical tales of global conspiracies and alien babysitting.
The 5 extraordinary nominees for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Family Series are Sharon Coley, The Mysterious Benedict Society. Yeah. Melanie Orr, The Hardy Boys. Nimisha Mukherjee. Nimisha, oh man, that's a hard one. Just a tongue twister for me. Nimisha Mukherjee. Gabby Duran and the Unsittables. Philippe Rodriguez, Ruby and the Well. J.J. Johnson, Fraggle Rock, Back to the Rock. And the winner is...
Melanie Orr, The Hardy Boys. Sadly, Melanie is not able to attend tonight, but we'll hold that in her honor. Thank you so much.
All right. So the nominees for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in a Comedy Series address subjects as diverse as our country itself. High school girls and working moms, a young Vietnamese-Canadian family running the suburbs, and the non-binary child of Pakistani immigrant parents trying to reconcile their identity and their upbringing.
And the nominees for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in a Comedy Series are Fabrizio Filippo, Sort of. Yael Stav, Working Moms.
Yeah.
Corey Bowles, Pretty Hard Cases. Jay Stevens, Astrid and Lily Save the World. Melanie Orr, Run the Burbs. And the winner is?
The winner is, I've got the statue here, I think. Oh, I got another one. Oh, you got another one? We got lots of them. But you only get one of them, Fabrizio Filippo. You only get one, sort of. You can choose, though.
The award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Comedy Series is brought to you by Entertainment Partners Canada, Inc. Regrettably, Fabrizio could not be present to accept this award. We are honored to accept this award on his behalf. Please welcome, accueillons chaleureusement, DGC BC Production Manager and producer of The Twilight Zone and The X-Files, your DGC Secretary Treasurer, Grace Gilroy.
Wow. Thank you. And I get a great job tonight. Now, I get to do an Honorary Life Member Award. Now, how did Cheryl next get into the film business? Like most of us, by accident, or was it a twist of fate? Or just a cleanup after a party? Now, how the story goes, everyone needs the rug doctor once in a while in their life. And that is how Jackie Wesselberger met Cheryl. A friendly rug doctor representative. They both get to talking after a few visits. And the question that many of us have heard is, how do we get into the film business? Well, Jackie says, give me your resume. Now, Jackie was working at Televector, and she was planning on leaving early. So she went to Bill Smythe and Jim Westwell and gave them her resignation and presented them with her replacement, Cheryl Nix. Onward, Cheryl finished her CA and her MBA, bought Televector, that became EP Canada. Anyone in this room knows Cheryl, who knows she has been kicking butt since her early days at Televector. Her career achievements and credentials are impressive, whether you're talking accounting, finance, tax credits, mergers, and acquisitions. But what makes Cheryl truly exceptional is her commitment to next-level leadership. The above and beyond contributions that have stood out across our industry community for more than 2 decades. Outside of her day job advocating and working on industry tax policy, she helped shape the regulations for child employment in Canada. She has spent endless hours working with governments to ensure that the industry's employment scope was accurately captured and on the government radars, so that the economic value to the country would be more clearly understood. For years, it was not. If that is not enough, she has equally a distinguished record of volunteerism on the behalf of the industry, the Motion Picture Industry Association, Capilano University, Act Safe, and within the community, supporting youth programs, Canada's Young Olympic Hopefuls, fundraising for the food bank, to Habitat for Humanity. The list goes on. Bottom line, Cheryl is a leader, a mentor, a coach, and a volunteer who happens to know a few F words. If fierce, forward-thinking, and fabulous weren't the first words that popped into your mind, that's okay. Cheryl will forgive you for that. But it's Cheryl Nex's fierce leadership that makes her a very worthy recipient of this award tonight. So it is with great honor that I present this award to you, Cheryl.
Love you back. Oh, God, I have to tell you, it's much easier. I can hardly see anyone. I'm like ready to pee my pants. Couple things I think I need to clarify, though. I wasn't as much of a rug doctor representative, but I maybe will take that over what I was actually doing when I met my friend Jackie. So thank you. I am deeply humbled and honored to accept this recognition. I want to first thank I'd like to first thank the Directors Guild National Executive Board and the Directors Guild BC branch for this incredible recognition and grace. Thank you for that introduction, your leadership across Canada and British Columbia, and everything you've done for us here in BC. I need to thank the many industry partners I've had the great pleasure, really, of working alongside for all of these years. Thank you to all of you. We will somehow have to cut this into small, shareable pieces. I'd like to thank Entertainment Partners for 33 wonderful years. Your trust, your confidence, your patience to let me grow, to make mistakes, to grow from those mistakes. Thank you very much. I've had the great opportunity to work with a number of great humans at EP, but none finer than those that join me here this evening. Mark, Jennifer, Darren, Kendra, Richard, Andy, Amanda, Gil, Drew, Krista, Sante, and the other Cheryl. And I'd be a big fat jerk face if I didn't recognize my family. My wonderful husband, Michael, my beautiful mom, my little brother, my sister-in-law, Michael, Marilyn, Tom, they do have names, to my sister-in-law, Kim, brother-in-law, Rick, my niece, Katie, and my nephew-in-law, Graham. Thank you. You are, I would say, some of my biggest fans, and I love you for your unconditional support. Thank you. But as Grace has told you, this would really be but a passing dream, nightmare maybe, but dream, if not for Jackie Wexelberger. Yes, a clandestine meeting, I will choose to call it, in May of 1989 when, yes, she was in need of a, as she described it, water sucky-upper device. And I happened to be in a position to provide said sucky-upper device. Jackie, thank you for entering my life and for never leaving. So thank you to this wonderful community. I feel it has at times dragged me in, but wrapped its arms around me and never let me go. So thank you very much for this incredible recognition.
The Directors Guild of Canada would like to congratulate Cheryl on her countless contribution to the British Columbia industry. We are now at the 25% mark in the show, and your table should have burned through 1.5 bottles of wine. Please welcome to the stage, accueillons sur scène, stars of the Netflix series Firefly Lane, Ali Scobie and Roan Curtis.
After 2 years of award ceremonies held over Zoom calls, tonight's a special night, 60th anniversary. Getting all dressed up, heading out to a glitzy, glamorous gala.
And for those of you who've been working at home for the past 2 years, putting on pants to attend a work event.
Yes, that too. And I assure you, the members of the 4 sound teams nominated for Best Sound Editing, Movies for Television, and Miniseries are appropriately dressed for the occasion.
Oh, good.
And the nominees are The North Water, Don't Hang Up, Stolen by Their Father, and Christmas Movie Magic. And the winners are
Jane Tattersall, Brendan Mercer, Martin Gwynn Jones, and David Caporelli, The North Water.
Everybody, we're thrilled to be to win for this show. Thank you to the DGC for honoring us and for putting on this in Vancouver. We would especially like to thank the director of this limited series, the producers, Rhombus Media, directors Andrew Hay. This was a really special project for all of us because it happened during the beginning of COVID, and we spent almost, I think, 7 months working on it. It's set on a whaling ship. It's got a lot of difficult accents. So Martin worked with the actors with their accents. Dave and I and Brendan Mercer cut the boat sounds, the groan sounds, the wailing sounds, and it was just a very intense experience for us all, working alone in our basements with all this COVID circling around us. So thank you very much for the honor to receive this award.
Very, very quickly, I just wanted to say special thanks to our ADR partners in the UK and in LA, without whom this show would have been very different. So thanks to them. Thank you all.
Our next nominees span the full range of human emotion, from Christmas cheer to running for your life.
Why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't it be both? Hear me out. Left 4 Dead, Christmas Magic. The nominees for Best Picture Editing, Movies for Television and Miniseries are Rob Chandler, Don't Hang Up, Maureen Grant, Stolen by Their Father, Gloria Tong, Under the Holiday Spectacular, Diane Brunges, Left for Dead, The Ashley Reeves Story, and Fabiola Carrazza, Christmas Movie Magic. And the winner is
Maureen Grant, Stolen by Their Father.
This is amazing. Congrats to the other nominees. I just want to quickly thank director Simone Stock, producer Jeff Vanderwall, and the team who helped me put this together. And thank you. This is awesome.
Please welcome, accueillons chaleureusement from the CBC series Moonshine and M. Night Shyamalan's Wayward Pines, Tom Stevens, along with the creator of Bad Blood, Continuum, and Warrior Nun, DGC director Simon Barry.
Simon, I hear tonight we're not only celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Guild and the first West Coast DGC Awards, but also, in much of the country, the new DGC CMPA collective agreement.
That's right, you handsome devil. And as a member of the Directors Guild and the Writers Guild and the Producers Association, I'm also a sheriff in Georgia. I just want to thank everyone personally here tonight for making sure that I'm personally not awkwardly feeling about this yes vote. Thank you. It feels really good. I appreciate it. Thanks for voting yes on ratification.
The nominees for Best Production Design, Movies for Television and Miniseries are Elise Souvé, Sneakerella, Patrick Gauthier, Say Yes to Christmas, Andre Chamberlain, Christmas in My Heart, and Christmas Movie Magic. And the winner is
Elisa Sauvé, Sneakerella.
I'm not very good at this. I'll just tell you that when I pitched this film, the script I was given had no mention of it being a musical. And the director, that was incredible, kept talking about the musical numbers, and I just followed along and pretended I knew what she was talking about, but I didn't. It was a film we did during COVID. We reimagined Cinderella. It was a black kid in Queens, and it was a boy instead of a girl, and it was super fun and positive in this kind of shitty world we're living in. So thank you for this recognition. And congratulations to all the other nominees.
I just want to say happy birthday, Jackie Gould, DGC Director Extraordinaire. Our next four directors have excelled in long-form television, both in miniseries and in movies for television.
Whether the true stories of surviving heroin kidnapping, an adventure flick about surviving 3 days in the wild at Christmas, or an entirely fictional but suspiciously well-timed tale about surviving a global pandemic, these films made extraordinary feel real.
The nominees for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Movies for Television and Miniseries are Jeremy Podeswa, Station 11, Helen Shaver, Station 11, Troy Scott, Adventures in Christmasing, Jessica Harmon, Girl in the Shed, The Kidnapping of Abby Hernandez, and the winner is
Helen Shaver, Station 11.
The award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Movies for Television and Miniseries is brought to you by APA.
Well, it doesn't seem fair that it can be such a joy to make something and then to get awarded for it. It's like, but I am really, really, really grateful. We made this Station 11 in the pandemic. It was an amazing team of people, you know, led by Patrick Somerville, who imagined and wrote this and continued to write and continued to imagine these 10 hours. Jeremy Podeswa actually put his cape over a puddle, I think, to invite me in. I really appreciate Jeremy and his fine work, as I do Troy and Jessica. It's a wonderful group of people to be recognized with. But when I got there, the core of Jen Wilkinson, who is not a DGC member, she's a DGA member, is a brilliant AD, and she led the AD team. And the DGC members, I'm putting names up here because we're just fantastic. Claire Weldon was our producer, our line producer, and I had Daniel Grant, and he just blew my mind. Ruth Almond created worlds, many worlds. And we did this all in the pandemic when it was all locked down, and a lot of the actors had come off from all over the world. And unlike those who work in offices and so on, who had to spend their life looking at flat screens, and I guess a lot of people still are, we had the privilege, although we were isolated all the time, to come once a day to the set, into the community. And although we were masked, we were flesh and blood with each other. And we made something together, which we were all proud of. And I am so proud to be part of it, and proud to be part of this guild. Glad that we ratified. Glad that we've existed for 60 years, almost as old as I, and proud to see the diversity and, you know, that we now represent. Because when I started in directing in '96 and joined the Guild, I think I was the 17th woman, and it's wonderful to see the change and the diversity. And as I work with our younger members, it is so great to see people come without the baggage that some of us who grew up in other times carried. You know, it is brilliant. The us, the them, the all of us together. And oh, Canada.
Please welcome, accueillons chaleureusement, DGC Associate National Executive Director, Catherine Middleton.
Thank you. Wow, I'm going to do this more often. I am very pleased to be here this evening to present the DGC Impact Award, presented to a DGC member in recognition of outstanding service and leadership to the production community at large. It is the only DGC award given with a personal citation for the recipient, and in the case of our very first ever Impact Award honoree, the citation of leadership and advocacy on behalf of our industry can hardly do his work justice. As one of the co-founders of Keep Alberta Rolling, a grassroots nonprofit organization created to showcase the benefits and potential of the Alberta screen industry, Brock helped launch a movement to bring together cast, crew, unions, vendors, educational institutions, festivals, studios, local businesses, and community leaders instrumental in ensuring the further development and expansion of the Alberta Film and Television Tax Credit. Policies, as many of you know, that can be make or break for a production community in Canada. Brock's work in pursuit of public support for film and television has been tireless and effective, and it continues. Beyond Alberta, he has generously assisted and inspired other district councils. He's done it with a good heart and good cheer while putting on hold his burgeoning AD career. Brock has won the respect and gratitude of so many in our industry. It gives me great pleasure to now invite you to congratulate me, to congratulate me for congratulating Brock for our very first ever DGC Impact Award.
Thank you, Catherine. This is a great honor and such a privilege to be amongst all the Guild members today. I'd like to thank the Guild first and foremost, the Alberta District Council Board, Hudson, Michelle, Megan, Samantha, and now Doug, all the Alberta members, and in fact all the members of the Guild. You're what makes the Guild great. My parents and my family, the original founders of Keep Alberta Rolling, Scott Lutley, Vince Varga, now Sasha McLaughlin, and everyone in the Alberta screen industry that has contributed in large and small ways to CAR. So Calgary Economic Development, Edmonton Screen Industries Office, White's, Rocky Mountain Film Studios, Extra, Teamsters, all the Alberta crew, John Scott, municipal leaders in Alberta, economic developers, chambers, and our elected officials, with a special shout out to our former minister, Doug Schweitzer. I just wanted to share a quote with you that in late 2018, when we were starting CAR and things weren't looking so hot for the Alberta film industry, we put up on the wall when we were starting the nonprofit. This is precisely the time when artists go to work. There's no time for despair, no place for self-pity, no need for silence, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. That is how civilizations heal. That's a great Toni Morrison quote. And we're living in times where, words have power, and people are using words and new technologies to put negativity out into the world. And we wanted to use technologies to put positivity out into the world, to serve our province, serve our community, serve our industry, and turn around the camera and let some of the communities and leaders of Alberta be the director for a day and be the number one on our metaphorical call sheet. So when you change your words, you can change your circumstance. I want to dedicate this award to Rob Hilton, a great former business agent of the Alberta District Council, who was diagnosed with MS, always was putting the members first. And to my brother, Matt Skretting, he has Duchenne muscular dystrophy. For those who don't know, it's a muscle wasting disease that over time
you progressively get weaker. So he's now 34, has lost the ability to walk, but he is my inspiration, and something like this took a lot of energy and a lot of effort. So every day I would think of Matt. So thank you very much. It's a great honor.
Please welcome, accueillons chaleureusement, British Columbia's Parliamentary Secretary for Arts and Film, Bob Deeth.
Hey everybody. Bonsoir tout le monde. My name is Bob Deeth. I'm the first Parliamentary Secretary for Arts and Film for the province of British Columbia. I'd like to acknowledge that I'm speaking to you from the territories of the Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish peoples. Yes, please. And also recognize all Métis and urban Indigenous peoples who call Vancouver home. I kind of feel like you should do a move with this mic. But anyway, on behalf of the Premier John Horgan and the Government of British Columbia, I wanted to say welcome to you all. This is the first, someone's laughing, that's funny. This is the first time that the DGC has had this awards show in British Columbia, and I want to thank DGC for doing this, bringing it to, as Brent Budd totally stole my thunder on this. I was going to say the biggest production center in Canada, the third largest in North America, so I do want to say that. Actually, the last time I was on stage, sharing a stage with Brent, but it's okay, you don't have to, yeah, I'm just telling a story now. So I was on the stage with Brent, but it was 30 years ago in Whistler when my band Rhymes with Orange was playing, and he was up there doing a comedy act, and then afterwards we went down to Vancouver and I played piano for the show, and now, 30 years later, he's an internationally recognized, syndicated, huge actor, and I'm a politician. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, we're very pleased to host all of you tonight in this amazing province in beautiful Vancouver. And we've already seen some amazing talent through the awards that were given out, the nominees and the winners. And I want to say that people don't recognize or don't know what goes into making these films and the television shows. And all of you, I just want to say thank you so much for all you do behind the scenes to bring, especially during COVID, make people just love life. It's so much a part of our lives. So thank you so much from coast to coast to coast for bringing film and television to our lives. Thank you. So this year there's 450 submissions, and that really speaks so loudly about the skills and creativity in this country, especially considering that so many of these productions were done during the challenges of the pandemic. And we've heard this already tonight. And you still found ways to make it work. And to all of you, I say bravo. Bravo for the work that you did during a very, very difficult time. Thank you so much. And I think we should all be extremely proud at how the Canadian film industry worked with public health and with government and with the industry to really do what we needed to do to keep the sector going. We were down, what, 3 months? And boom, we came back with some of the biggest production years we've ever had. So thank you so much for that. Yes, absolutely. And thank you to continuing to collaborate and innovate and tell the amazing stories that we have to tell to the world. In 2021, we reached an all-time high of 500 productions in this province. Yeah, oh yeah, and many of you contribute to our success every day, either directly or through your work, and support on the national stage, so thank you. I'm also proud of BC's leadership on the topics of sustainability and diversity in our local industry and beyond. And through BC-based programs like Creative BC's Creative Pathways and Real Green, and I did want to shout out to DGC for your incredible work on diversity and inclusion. Thank you so much for the work that you're doing. Really important work. So thank you so much for all the work that everyone's doing in achieving these important directives. It's very important for our future, for our kids and everyone else. So I wanted to say thank you so much to everyone, and a special nod out, I have to say, to the BC nominees, all of you, congratulations. And I'm excited to see you all back here in Vancouver again, hopefully very soon. Hope you enjoy the rest of the evening. I wish you all the best, and that's it. Merci.
Merci et bonne soirée. Please welcome DGC Director, past President of DGC National, and Chair of DGC Ontario, Alan Goluboff.
Close enough, Goluboff. But anyway, it's an honor for me to be here this evening to speak to someone I respect, I admire, and consider a dear friend and colleague. Honoring our own has always been paramount with the creation of these DGC Awards. It is with great pleasure to be in Vancouver for the first ever awards ceremony held outside Toronto since its inception 21 years ago. It gives me even greater pleasure to be able to present the Don Haldane Distinguished Service Award to a DGC BC Guild member who over 12 years has not only served the membership and the industry in British Columbia, but the membership of our entire organization. Alan Harmon has given countless hours Alan Harmon has given countless hours of time and personal commitment to further the well-being of the Directors Guild of Canada through the DGC BC Board, through the National Executive Board of the Guild, the National Directors Division within the Guild, and the Health and Welfare Trust that the Guild established years ago. I had the pleasure to sit with the other Al through many a meeting. His sage wisdom, his professionalism, his humor, his deep understanding of the issues facing the Guild at every level has helped set policy and direction for the organization for years to come. The DGC is a stronger and more respected organization across this country because of Alan Harmon. Few members have given as faithfully to our organization and our membership as he has. This is a well-deserved honor the Guild presents you with today, Alan, and I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight, bestowing upon you the highest award the Directors Guild of Canada gives to a member for their services to us all. I thank you, Alan, for continuing to give. Ladies and gentlemen, please offer a round of applause for the Don Haldane Distinguished Service Award winner, Alan Harmon.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Alan. Alan was on a set yesterday in Hamilton, Ontario until the end of the day. He flew in today to do this for us and for me. He will be on that set Monday morning. Can you relate? Can you relate? The members of this audience relating to that fact? We do tight turnarounds when we have to. So thank you, Alan, for that. I appreciate it very much. I can't tell you. There's some people here tonight, and I'm going to have to overlook a lot of people because there's a lot of people here. But I want to say that a 1965 initiate, Al Simmons, is here. He's been in this organization since 1965. He's in our company tonight. I'm glad you could be here, Al. John Houston from the other side of the country is also here tonight. John, I don't know what year you joined, but it was probably a long time ago. I've known you for a long time. I remember my first beer. Thank you. That was an easy one. I've been using that for years. So, and I kid that the service award is kind of like when you're in school and you have perfect attendance. I like to say that's kind of what it's about. And people think, oh, come on, it's better than that, Ellen. I'm going, no, I get it. Thank you. I did enjoy service to this guild, and I'm still involved for another year and a half. And if I make it, I intend to be involved for another year and a half. And service is like, let's look around. I mean, we've got some distinguished company here tonight. I'm very pleased that we have, members of the political parties that represent us in Victoria and also in Ottawa. We have not just Bob Deeth, who, thank you, Bob, for being here tonight. We have Mike DeJong is here, the former Minister of Finance, who helped set our labor tax credit at a number that is sustainable and that we can work with. That was hard work. We have the Honorable Hetty Fry is here as well. She represents much of Vancouver. That's right. Give them that's service. These are people, and if there's more politicians here that I didn't name, my apologies. I just happened to notice our friend Mike and that Honorable Hetty Fry is here, and of course Bob was just out speaking to us, so we know he's here. So I think of the Service Award like, is it sexy? Is it really sexy? Because you're doing service, right? You're not like Sterling Gunnarsson is here tonight to get a Lifetime Achievement Award. Now that's sexy, right? He's got films and stuff they're going to show. But I went to some meetings and, I helped to do some. So thanks for noticing. And I'd like to also, congratulate the other nominees in this category. That's really inside, isn't it? That's inside humor, brother. That's right. Because there isn't anybody. Listen, I want to point out something. In terms of service, though, we're here tonight because I went to the National Executive Board several years ago as a representative for the BC Council and complained that we're significant here in BC. Everybody knew it. They didn't really need a roadmap. They didn't need statistical data. They knew that we were important, and as are all the other district councils, and you're all represented here tonight. Welcome, everybody from around the country. It's so nice to see you here. It was the political will of the organization to bring an idea to fruition which we had never flown, which was, let's stop having elections with people bringing bags of proxies. Let's offer election voting to every member across the country via electronic processes. And as a consequence, using, Tim Southam, who's here tonight. Tim, go ahead for Tim. He did run this organization for 6 years. What Tim instructed his team to do, and through Brian Baker, they cleverly thought of this device. We'll have conventions every 2 years, we'll have the elections, and the awards will be every 2 years, alternating between Toronto and Vancouver, which means this award show will be back here in Vancouver in 4 years' time. And it's here tonight because people who involve themselves in service got some things done. And people who involve themselves in service can pat themselves on the back along with the rest of you for ratifying a standard agreement last week that will operate across the country, minus Quebec. You've got your own issues. I know it sounds funny. I don't really mean it that way. They just have like 18 different, ratifications they have to go through. If you're in Quebec, you know what I mean. It's inside. We know. So. And here in BC, we went out without a contract for a year and a half. A year and a half behind the date that we should have been giving people that make scale, their 3% retroactive pay. Well, people wanted to argue with us that they shouldn't get it. We had to squabble. We couldn't get the other side to the table until we took a strike vote. We stood together, and that unity is something that is spread across this entire country. You can all own that now. That's what service is about. So I've enjoyed it a lot. I'm so grateful. I'm thankful. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
And making their way to the stage, co-stars of Netflix Virgin River, Colin Lawrence and Benjamin Hollingsworth.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Glad you brought her. You know, Ben, editing is a very integral part of any successful show. Like ours, Virgin River.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, Colin. But some performances need no editing at all, like mine.
Is that so?
Yeah, the other day on set, I overheard the director.
Oh, yeah? And what do you say?
He said we're going to edit around him, so.
Wow, okay. We'll edit around that. So anyways, let's carry on. The nominee for Best Sound Editing in a Dramatic Series are Motherland, Fort Salem. From The Expanse, Foundation, and The Porter. And the winners are The Porter, David McCallum, Ed Douglas, Marvin Dennis, Peter Talib, Kayla Stewart, and Gene Watt.
I gotta say, this is unexpected but welcome. I lots of remarks prepared, but I'm out of words. Thanks to all the members, because the other people who are up are awesome and amazing, and some of my favorite programming and design work. We had some great help, Kyla and Marvin, and the directors, RT and Charles, are fantastic and gave us some inspirational material to live up to. So we really had our work cut out for us. Thank you very much.
I'd like to thank the mixers on this. You're gonna have to join me here because I am flabbergasted. I didn't think that we were gonna win this with all, sound dogs in the mix. The Expanse, and I didn't see this coming at all. So thank you, DGC, for everybody who voted for us. Sienna, of course, for making this happen, and CBC, thank you very much for airing this. So I kind of thought, just in case, right? Yeah, you know what? Instead of fumbling anymore, I'm just going to say thank you, everyone. And Vancouver, thank you. It's great to be here.
Wow. Wow, Colin. The DGC Award is a pretty beautiful statue, isn't it? It's nice.
Yes,
It's like heavy. You can kind of get your reps in if you didn't go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's it's pointy, it's sharp. You could just kind of.
Well, yeah, you know, for all the winners who came all the way from Toronto using their very large carry-on bags, good luck getting through security on your way home.
All right, our next award is for Best Picture Editing in a Dramatic Series. And the nominees are Hugh Ellick, The Porter; Anna Yavari, The Handmaid's Tale; Rosalind Kalu, Vikings Valhalla; Thorben Beeger, Moonshine; and Dan Brazzino, Billy the Kid.
And the winner is
Anna Yavara, The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay, I spend all day heckling actors very angrily on my monitor, and I can't even memorize 2 lines, so here we go. I'd like to thank all of the producers of Handmaid's Tale for giving me this opportunity. Sheila, Bruce, Warren, Yalin, and John. Thanks to Bill, Take 5, and especially Nick Iannelli. To my editing mentors, Wendy and Chris, for your guidance, and to the amazing assistants on our team. And most of all, I want to thank my partner in crime, Dan Braceno, who's also an editor that I was just nominated against, who lost on purpose so that I feel good about myself. Thanks for putting up with my crap every day. I love you so much, and I hope to work with you for the rest of our lives. Okay, lastly, this is very important. To every director I've ever had the pleasure of working with, sometimes you get these really special notes. They're just so smart. They elevate all of our shows. And I want to read you some examples of some of them that have made a really big difference. Why do I hate the scene? I want to not hate the scene. This one is really profound. What is this horse shit smeary crap? That's Jack Bender. That's a good one. The directors that forget what medium they're working in, I like to receive notes like, this is so TV. Lastly, they can't all be winners, but thank you to the DGC.
Please give a warm welcome to Sarah Chalk, star of such hits as Roseanne, Scrubs, and Firefly Lane, and Kristen Crook, star of Smallville, Beauty and the Beast, and Burden of Truth.
Whether it's the horror of Gilead, the dystopian future of Asimov's Foundation saga, or the one scene in Yellow Jackets, this year's nominees for dramatic series managed to evoke the same sense of blood-curdling terror as a 10 a.m. departure at Pearson Airport.
To our many, many Toronto guests who slogged their way across the country to join us from the center of the universe, rest assured that we will not rub salt in the wound by pointing out that a recent study from J.D. Power and Associates found Vancouver to be the most enjoyable airport experience in all of Canada. Though that is a 100% real study and not something we made up for this joke.
The nominees for Best Production Design in a Dramatic Series are Elizabeth Williams, The Handmaid's Tale; Matt Likely, From; Rory Chaney, Foundation; Brian Kane, Yellow Jackets; Britt Doty, The Hot Zone. And the winner is
Elizabeth Williams, The Handmaid's Tale. Unfortunately, Elizabeth had to send her regrets. We are honored to accept this award on her behalf. Tonight's nominees for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Dramatic Series showcase the breadth and depth of Canadian television. We have 3 shows commissioned by Canadian platforms, 2 by global streamers, and 1 airing on a US cable network.
These productions include period pieces and historical fiction, a heightened thriller, an American Western, and grounded modern drama. These 6 shows show that we can make the best the world has to offer.
And now, the nominees for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Dramatic Series. David Frazee, Vikings Valhalla. Charles Officer, The Porter. Jamie Travis, Yellow Jackets. Stefan Kalczynski, Transplant. Helen Shaver, Maid. Rachel Leiterman, Billy the Kid. And the winner is
Charles Officer, The Porter.
The award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Dramatic Series is brought to you by Panavision.
What to say? Thank you, DGC. Thank you, Vancouver. Jennifer Kawaja, Sphere, CBC, BT Plus. RT Thorne, my partner in directing the show. Anne-Marie Murray and Marsha Green. I mean, there's so many people, you all know what we were talking about last night. Takes a village, and I didn't win this alone. And the nominees, like, it's crazy. Like, I was gonna curse. I love Yellow Jackets. I love all the work that's up in here, and it's just an honor. I didn't expect this at all, and thank you very much. And for my little son, 17 months old, who was born in Winnipeg 4 days before we went into production. I was begging him to come a little early, and he listened. So, Selah, the Holy Pause, thank you. Good night.
Please join us in taking a brief moment to honor and remember those DGC members who our community lost since the last time we gathered in person. Starring in the new Netflix series, The Imperfects, please welcome Morgan Taylor Campbell and star of The Upshaws, Kim Fields.
Good evening, fellow creatives, fellow storytellers. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be with all of you tonight. I love executive producing movies here. I love working with all of you, and I look forward to more of that. Thank you so much for having me here tonight. A Vancouver street basketball team and their rise to global fame. The journey of a Somali refugee. A horseback trek across continents. Stories of Canadian children institutionalized and left behind.
The documentaries up for Best Picture Editing tell tales as varied and unique as the creatives who molded them. The nominees are Jeremy Shalin Ryu, Handle with Care, The Legend of the Nautic Streetball Crew, Nick Hector, The Perfect Story, Sarah Petty, Unloved, Huronia's Forgotten Children, Lee Walker, The Long Rider. And the winner is Sarah Petty, Unloved, Huronia's Forgotten Children.
Wow, this is an incredible surprise. I'm incredibly honored to win this award and be in the company of the editors I am in the same category. Thank you, Barry Cohen, for an incredible story. She trusted me with her very personal family story. It was an amazing story, and we worked through the pandemic and found a way to tell the best story that we could, and I think it worked. Thank you to Craig Baines of White Pine Pictures, and Peter Raymond, and all the other support people. And thank you to my husband, Jeff, and my family for supporting me through all these years of editing. It's tough sometimes, and thank you for allowing me to be here. Thank you.
Since the introduction of the Alan King Award for Excellence in Documentary Film, the honor has been bestowed on a who's who of Canadian nonfiction filmmaking.
Greenwald, Gunnarsson, Raymond Pauly, Bejwal. Tonight, another director will join these storied ranks. The nominees for the Alan King Award for Excellence in Documentary are Jeremy Shalin Ryu, Kirk Thomas, Handle with Care, The Legend of the Nautic Streetball Crew. Andrew Moyer, Don't Come Searching. Chase Joint Framing Agnes. Madison Thomas, Buffy St. Marie, Carry It On. Adam Brooks, Cliff, A Portrait of an Artist. Barry Cohen, Unloved, Huronia's Forgotten Children. And the winner is Madison Thomas, Buffy St. Marie, Carry It On.
I'm afraid Madison could not be here tonight, so we are honored to accept this award on her behalf.
Thank
Please welcome back DGC President Warren Sonoda, alongside two-time CSA nominee and director of nearly 150 episodes of television, DGC BC Director member, Gary Harvey.
Thank you so much. So Gary and I met a couple of years ago working on Murdoch Mysteries, something about old-timey Victorian Toronto that has a way of making fast friends. And we've stayed in touch ever since. I asked Gary to present with me here tonight after he told me about an article he'd just written for YVR Screen Scene. And it's an article called, "I'm Disabled and I'm a Director." Yes. Those 6 words, just Gary making himself seen, made such a powerful statement to me.
Having a disability and gainful employment are not always, not mutually exclusive, and also shouldn't require a statement in an article or at an award show, but that's today it is, and I'd like to change that.
So Gary's right, of course. It shouldn't be a statement simply to be living and working with a disability, but I thank Gary so much for doing this tonight because the perceptions within our industry will only change as filmmakers like Gary go out 150 episodes and make their voices heard.
But tonight I'm here with you to celebrate those bold, fresh voices nominated for Best Short Films.
Let's get to it. The nominees for Best Short Film are Kelly Fife, Marshall, Omi. Chris Strikes, Patty vs. Patty. Brad Bangsbowl, Moore's Void. Simone Chichester, Him and Her. Haley Gray, Send the Rain. Ritvit Mera, Lover's Boy's Little Dream. And the winner is Haley Gray, Send the Rain, Best Short Film.
I want to start by saying I got to do my favorite job today, direct, and then change in my car and be here for dinner. So thank you, DGC Awards, for being in Vancouver. This film wouldn't happen without my amazing producing team, Christoph and Jeff, and of course my partner in life, crime, and film, Elad. Thank you so much. If you haven't hired Laura Sadiq or Veena Sood yet, you should. They are amazing actresses who made this movie everything that it is. And then I also have to absolutely thank my all-female grip LX and camera, female-led grip LX and camera team, Kayla Watchell, Yanni Yu, and Kate Smith. Please hire them and pay them well. This film and this award really needs to be dedicated to everyone who has suffered loss from the wildfires that have raged through our province for the last 7 years. When I first wrote this movie, I thought that it was going to be a one-year phenomena, and it has since kept happening, and the amount of climate refugees we're going to have in this world is only going to increase, so let's all be kind to each other and save the planet. Thank you.
Please welcome, accueillons chaleureusement, DGC Director and past President, Tim Southam.
Good evening, bonsoir. Thank you, Vancouver, for having us. It's been so much fun. What a good show. Where's Alan? Boy, he is funny. Somebody tell him he's funny. He'll be back. Bonsoir tout le monde. Je suis là pour en fait récompenser notre grand président, Sturla Gunnarsson, pour son œuvre. This is the Lifetime Achievement Award for a great filmmaker, Sturla Gunnarsson. I brought cards. So I've had an incredible month. I rewatched most of Sturla's films. It's been incredible. It's really a privilege, Sturla. And it became so clear how indissociable the DNA of his films are from the man himself. And I'll give you an example. I'll just read some titles of films and some words that occurred to me while I was watching them. When I first met Sturla, well, actually several years into knowing Sturla, he was presenting with Judy at the Toronto Film Festival his film Beowulf versus Grendel, and he took time to sort of chat with me, and he said, "You know, Tim, we're the character actors of Canadian cinema." Now, I took that to mean that there really is no issue, topic, subject, emotion, person, landscape, texture, photon that doesn't merit Sturla's eye, that doesn't merit examination and transformation by Sturla. It doesn't mean that he's a character actor of film. It means he's literally devouring life through film. And I'll give you an example. After the Axe. First film, this is the hardest one for me actually. First film and first Oscar nomination. Final Offer. Great documentary about the labor movement. Suspense, power of collective action, virtuoso character study, masterpiece, and an obsession with justice. I'm starting to sort of already get a picture of Sturla here. Such a long journey. Discovering another world. Discovering family and the humanity behind the family. Empathy, courage, a fearless, beautiful film. Jerry and Louise, fearless again. A new world again. Suspense again. The power of forgiveness. The possibilities of atonement, of redemption, the notion of a monster, of a person who's a monster, and to my mind, a masterpiece. And again, an obsession with justice. Rare Birds, perfect pitch. Love, empathy, discovering a new world again. The Land again. A gem, truly a gem. Beowulf versus Grendel, The Land, again. Plunging into his own personal mythology and his own language. Roots, the notion of a monster, again. Empathy, courage, again. I'd say even fearlessness, probably folly, and great beauty. Air India, 182, outrage, courage, empathy, the monster, again. Beauty. Force of Nature, his film about David Suzuki. A Perfect Portrait, again a portrait of courage, a notion of justice, the greater good, the land, again. Beauty, again, and as Shauna Hatt said, a poem. Monsoon, a synthesizing film, land and nature, again. Humanity, again, the collective good, again. Beauty, courage, again. And maybe a first, somewhat of a spiritual journey. Many of these are documentaries, many of them are dramas. And to my mind, Sturla combines the humility of the observer with the irrepressible, transformative genius of the poet. And he does it fearlessly. It's almost scary to watch his films because you know what he was doing and where he was physically when some of the shots were made. Shauna Hatt, again, said he could be entrusted with filming our national heroes. And Sturla was platform agnostic, and it set him up for one of his great life challenges as well. He brought the same instincts for beauty, danger, pace, justice, love, and the land to his television work. I'm going to read some of the titles. This card has got both sides. There's so many titles on this. Above and Beyond, 100 Days in the Jungle, Mother Trucker, Evelyn Lau, Snakes and Ladders, 19-2, Scorn, Street Legal, Schitt's Creek, Beachcombers, Motive, Street Legal, again. He did both of them. Ransom, The Firm, Rookie Blue, Defying Gravity, The Best Years, Intelligence, Da Vinci City Hall, Side Effects, North of 60, they all bear the Sturla stamp. He's got some honors. This part hurts too, I don't like this part. The Oscar nomination I mentioned, the TIFF Audience Award for Force of Nature, 7 DGC Awards. I guess he's got an 8th one tonight, unless he doesn't win it. 2 Gemini Awards, probably way more, but those are the 2 that are listed on IMDb, but I think I saw him go up and get more. A Genie Award, 2 VIFF Awards, and an Emmy for Jerry and Louise. So I do think that the portrait of these films sort of give us a portrait of the man, and that really matters. Here, let's sum it up again. Courage, fearlessness, a little possessed, poetry, empathy, seeker of justice, the land, people, discovery, transformation, ferocity, and love. The seamless link between his filmmaking and his personal engagement with the world is probably best summarized and best expressed by his time as president of our president here at the DGC. It was a time when, and Alan Guyabov went out and found him because he knew exactly what he needed. He needed a hammer. And Sturla came in between 2000 and 2014, and he took on really 2 challenges. Creating a vision statement with all of us for what the Guild could be in the 21st century that was really wrapped around the creator of a work of art. And in many ways, it's brought the Guild so much closer to filmmaking than we were for a while. And the second one was returning the Guild to the members. And anyone who wants to know what that means can come talk to me at dinner, at the dinner table over here. But he really wrested the Guild from a whole lot of competing interests and gave it back to the membership. And it was a huge struggle, and we're all really, really the better for it. And here's the part that I really like the best, because there are fewer awards involved, and it really is true, and that's family. This was a team effort. This entire creative enterprise was a team effort. You know, when I spoke to Judy Kunar, Sturla's spouse, wife, partner, girlfriend, she said, you know, it's really just about doing the right thing. She said, it's about exploring things you don't know about. And in the end, it's all process. When I spoke to Maya Gunnarsson, Sturla's daughter, she said, really watching Sturla make films was to watch him search for the universal human story. She also said something interesting, that in marrying Judy, Sturla launched himself into the discovery of another continent, another world, another culture, many times over through his films. And in making Beowulf versus Grendel, he returned to his Icelandic roots and his language. So the films really were a conduit for many journeys. But it was also a great journey for everyone, because Maya and Judy both said the international exposure for the family was priceless. And Maya added that watching Sturla work taught her the value of hard work. And Ari Gunnarsson said something really remarkable, because Ari's a filmmaker in his own right and has accompanied Sturla on some of their shared adventures. And he said, you know, traveling all around India, all across India, to find out what the film Monsoon might be, it was witnessing his father relentlessly pursuing something mysterious and undefined until it was actually made. So here's a clip of Sturla's work. It's only 3 minutes long. Hardly summarizes his life and his journey, and that's because he's only halfway through it. Let's bring Sturla up here and give him his Lifetime Achievement Award.
Thank you, Tim, for that very generous introduction. And thanks to the Directors Guild for this wonderful honor. It means a lot to me to receive an award like this from an organization that's been so close to my heart for so long. And to receive it from those of you that I've worked with in the trenches all these years. There's a nice symmetry to receiving it here in Vancouver, in my hometown, at this first Vancouver edition of the DGC Awards. Congratulations, Alan Harmon, who fought long and hard to bring him here. This is where it all began for me at the UBC film program, where I learned the weird alchemy of imagining a film into being, and became lifelong friends with Judy Kunar and Brenton Spencer, who helped me make a short film that ended up traveling the world and changing my life. I prefer to think of this as more of a Lifetime Achievement So Far award, if you don't mind. But you never know, as Wycliffe says, anything can happen. So I'm going to enjoy this moment and this opportunity to reflect on my career, such as it is. When I was starting out, I asked Alan King, who was DGC president at the time, if it was possible to remain in Canada and have a career. He told me, probably not. But if you're lucky, you might be able to create a body of work you can be proud of. Thank you for recognizing that work tonight. Young filmmakers are often told, write what you know, make films about what you know. My experience has been the opposite. Filmmaking has given me the opportunity to explore what I don't know. To chase rain in India, witness the end of apartheid, or get inside Dan Levy's head. To engage with characters that fire my curiosity and challenge my perception of the world. Whether it's a Parsi bank clerk in Bombay, an apartheid hit squad commander, or an industrial union chief. Whether it's fiction or documentary, filmmaking has allowed me to experience the human story on a grander scale than that of my own limited worldview. And this, I think, is the beauty of our medium. It can be a vehicle for empathy and give us a richer sense of the world in all of its complexity. And all this suggests that whatever I've accomplished was done on my own, and nothing could be further from the truth. I've been blessed since the beginning of my filmmaking life with many gifted collaborators. Whatever virtues my films might hold exist largely because of their work, inspiration, and most importantly, their friendship. Some of them are here tonight: Brenton Spencer, Al Harmon, Tony Westman, and Wendy Ord, who AD'd for me in Bombay, Haida Gwaii, Newfoundland, and Iceland, braving ice and fire, typhoid, and the Guarantor, to help me get the films made, and who taught me that the AD's job is to protect the director from himself if necessary. Or herself, seeing as Wendy's now a director. I'm proud to be a union man and to have served on the DGC board and as national president. Participating has given me a greater understanding of the contributions made by every member of the production team and the opportunity to meet filmmakers from across the country. The staff and elected of this organization are an exceptional group of people whose friendship I cherish. My children are here: Ari, who was born during TIFF, and Maya, who was born on a film production in Mexico. Each has chosen a path in life that was informed by growing up on film sets all over the world, and I'm proud of them both. Finally, I'd like to dedicate this award to Judy Kunar, who's been my partner in every imaginable way on this adventure. and who taught me the meaning of love, beauty, and grace. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage, accueillons sur scène DGC Awards Chair Manny Denelon.
Thank you, BC, for the hospitality. Thank you very much. Much of the role of the DGC Awards Chair involves the business of awards, updating the rules, judging the edge cases in submissions process, whether a given film is in or out of eligibility. But other times, the real job has its moments. Tonight is one of those times, as we honor the life and the art of an extraordinary filmmaker and DGC member. Please take a moment to remember and enjoy the works of Jean-Marc Vallée, as rendered by the DGC editor, Anna Catley. Tonight, the Guild rededicates our award for emerging filmmakers in the name of one of our fellow members, a fitting tribute to the man known for his support and mentorship to many young filmmakers. we have two special guests with us for this occasion. First, I'd like to welcome DGC member Ashlyn Chin Yi to the stage to say a few words and to help present the first Jean-Marc Vallée DGC Discovery Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashlyn Chin Yi.
So, Jean-Marc would always tell me that the work is your reward, that the accolades, the nominations, and the trophies, they're great, but they're not vital, and we shouldn't spend our time focusing on them too much. Though he might have said this after I didn't win the DGC Discovery Award a couple of years ago. So, he's always on my side. But in fact, Jean-Marc was right. Filmmaking is not a competitive sport. We cannot beat each other, and there is no yardstick to measure us against. That the goal is to reach into the hearts and minds. That the goal is to reach into the hearts and minds of others and make a connection. And this is hard work. And this type of work, this is hard work to be this type of brutally honest technician. But Jean-Marc loved his fellow directors. We are a weird breed of craftsperson, and he admired those with strong, authentic perspectives and that had the will to do the work. And he also loved to discover new filmmakers, new voices, and fresh eyes on the world. He couldn't help it. He was always looking for that spark, that vulnerability that keeps us honest, a trait that we have in abundance when we make our first films. So I love the name of this award, the Discovery Award, because it relates so well to Jean-Marc's process and his passion for filmmaking. He never underestimated the power of discovery and curiosity, and he harnessed it and he channeled it into his films, and he understood how to use it as his guide. And Jean-Marc always reminded me, stay curious, stay alert, ask questions, touch their hearts. You gotta make them laugh, but then you gotta make them cry. And clearly this room is filled with artists who have achieved this pursuit. And even though the work is the reward, Jean-Marc did appreciate when our films were recognized and celebrated by our peers. And this is one of the most outstanding achievements a director can hope for. So, for the directors nominated for the Jean-Marc Vallée Discovery Award, bravo, you have already won. In your first or second film, you made that connection, and you protected that sacred gift of curiosity and inspired your peers to champion you. Jean-Marc would hold up a glass, up in your honor, and then say, okay, well, what are you gonna do now? And since he is not here with us in the flesh, but his spirit and his inspiration are, and they can be accessed at any time by any filmmaker who want to reach for love and truth in their work. And luckily, his son, another talented and beautiful soul, Alex Vallée, is here with us tonight, and I invite him to come say a few words about his father.
Thank you so much, Aisling. It means a lot to have you by my side tonight. I mean, Aisling was, I think, one of, if she's not the most important person to my dad from the last 10 years, I don't know who is. She was there all along, so close to my brother and I, and just thank you for being here. Manny, thank you for the introduction. I appreciate everyone. Feels good to be here. Thank you, DGC, for inviting me and for presenting this award. I mean, 58 years old. What can I say? It's too soon. He had a lot of on his agenda, and but at least he was having fun. He's just, the guy was a passionate filmmaker. His life was all about cinema, and I mean, maybe this is one of the reasons me and him, we weren't that close. I wish I could have had a better relationship with my dad, but the guy was a filmmaker, a prolific, creator of stories, and his mind was always there, and he was good at it. And it's one of the rare person I've met in my life where, when you meet someone and you just kind of have the feeling that the other person is doing exactly what she's supposed to do in her life. It's like the purpose is there. They have found their calling and they're just doing what they're supposed to do and they love it. And so even if my dad sometimes was far and not close as I would have wanted to, he was happy and he did what he liked. He was having fun. Yeah, that was his game, his ballpark, and I'm sure he died happy, and he would be grateful to have an award named after his name for a Discovery Award, because at the end of his career, even though he was a director mostly in his heart, but at the end, it's like if all of this work was coming to a certain end, if I might say, and from my point of view, he wanted more to share his knowledge in the end, where it was like a time where it's time to give and to share and, stop going as fast as I was going and always, doing everything that I can to be as perfect as I can. And he never was in competition, but with himself, in my point of view, he was working hard as hell. And I'm just glad that his work had an impact on so many of us, and yeah, it just seemed to have a meaning today, and that it had to go that way. And a Discovery Award is just something that is good to support his name. I mean, yeah, he was there ready to give place to the new generation, to take the flame and give the passionate work he was bringing to the industry. So thank you all. And yeah. And now the nominees for Jean-Marc Vallée DGC Discovery Award are...
Okay. Anthony Shim, Rice Boy Sleeps. Nyla Inuksuk, Slashback. Louis De Philippis, Something You Said Last Night. Gail Maurice, Rosie. Kelly Fife Marshall, When Morning Comes. Ashley Mackenzie, Queens of the Qing Dynasty.
And the winner is Anthony Shim, Rice Boy Sleeps.
The Jean-Marc Vallée DGC Discovery Award is brought to you by Vanguard Artists Management.
to see my name so close to Jean-Marc Vallée's name is. I dreamed about being a filmmaker one day, and it's been a long journey. It's been a tough journey, but it's been the best, most fun, rewarding career in life that one could ask for. I've met so many incredible people who are the closest people in my life, who are people who I consider more family than actual blood relatives of mine. This industry, this career has given me so much. And these days, I mean, this film has literally changed my life. And it's just, I'm speechless. And I want to thank the DGC. I'm not even a member, so so thank you for having me regardless, and I promise I will be a member soon. Being an independent filmmaker, you do not make a lot of money, so hopefully soon I'll be a part of this. And I can't get over the video I just saw. I've actually recently been rewatching some of Jean-Marc Vallée's work, and fuck, it's good. It's amazing how it stood the test of time, and it's so unfortunate and tragic that we lost such a great filmmaker and such a great Canadian filmmaker as early as we did. And I hope to achieve half as many great work that he did in his lifetime in the rest of my career. And as a director, I mean, I'm only as good as the people that I've been surrounded by. And on this project, I was really so lucky to have the best people that I would die for, and people who believed in this story that was so personal and close to home for me. And a lot of them are local people from Vancouver. I'm a product of this city. I never went to film school or theater school or any school, really. I was kind of half of a high school dropout. I'm not bragging, so don't applaud. You should go to school. But I learned through trial and error, and I learned through so many mentors over the years that I've had from the city, and many of them are in this room today. And so I thank you. This is too much. I just want to thank everybody that helped me get to where I am, and I dedicate this to my mom, who's just the best mom in the world. And oh wait, happy birthday, Jackie.
Here's your card.
We have now reached the Feature Film Awards, and that DGC BC sponsored after party beckons. To help bring us home, please welcome Anya Savcic from ABC's hit series Big Sky, and DGC Award winner tonight, DGC Director Charles Officer.
As much as we talk about the visual landscape of film, it's sound that sells the feeling of being there. Bring your audience inside your story, right next to your characters.
And whether it's the roaring wind of a tornado or monsters that bump in the night, it was sound that put audiences smack in the center of the suspense for each of our next 5 nominated films. The nominees for Best Sound Editing Feature Film are Nightmare Alley, Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City. 13 Minutes. Fistful of Vengeance. And Stay the Night. And the winners are
Okay, Nightmare Alley, Nathan Robitaille, Jill Purdy, Nelson Pereira, Josh Brown, Kyla Stewart, Kevin Banks, Craig McClellan, and Dashin Naidu.
My watch just told me to relax. Yeah, a ton of people to thank for this one. It's important to start with Guillermo del Toro, Miles Dale, and Searchlight for the opportunity, the encouragement, pushing us, encouraging us. But, you know, for some of us, this was the movie we were working on when COVID became a reality. And they took it very seriously very early and made some very scary months feel a little easier to deal with. And so an extra shout out to them for that. A huge thank you to the entire team. Everybody is amazing, the whole sound editing team on this. As well as the legends at Footsteps Foley, Doug Wilkinson, our post-production supervisor, our mixed team, Chris Cook, Brad Zorn, and Arturo Fourmoyer. I'm pretty sure I just murdered his last name. Everybody at Company 3 in Toronto, they were all amazing. And our outrageously talented picture editor, Cam McLaughlin and Mary Jurek, for just truly blazing a trail. We would have been lost without them. Buy your picture editors a drink because, man, they save us from ourselves. So, also, my wife, Keiko Twist, and everybody's family, if you work with speakers and you had work from home situations, you owe your family a giant thank you. They are saints. Yeah, thank you all very much. And thank you to the DGC.
To say our next category features some renowned talents in the world of Canadian film would be an understatement.
Every one of the 4 picture editors nominated for feature film this year have had multiple DGC Award nominations in their careers so far, 21 nominations total. And yet, tonight, there can be only one. So then the nominees for Best Picture Editing Feature Film are, Cam McLaughlin, Nightmare Alley, Jorge Weiss, Night Raiders, Christopher Donaldson, Crimes of the Future, and Simone Smith, Slashback. And the winner is
Cam McLaughlin, Nightmare Alley.
Himself on a Kim and yeah, I'm like, boy, stop, run that back. Goddamn you, father, can you play that sax? Smart ass you, Mr. Know-it-all, think you got flood down to a formula. I'm like, boy, stop, run it back. Can you play that sax?
I'm not Cam, so please don't thank me. Cam just texted me. I've worked with Cam on the last 3 Guillermo del Toro movies. Cam's worked on 4. He started as the first assistant. He became the first assistant on Crimson Peak. He became the associate editor on Shape of Water. And then Guillermo hired him as the lead editor for Nightmare Alley. So It's been really impressive to work with Cam. He unfortunately is in Atlanta, so he sent me this to thank. He couldn't be here tonight. He wanted to thank everybody, all the other nominees, and his fellow editors. I'm constantly inspired by your dedication, work, and our craft. He'd like to express his gratitude to Guillermo for essentially being his film teacher for the past decade. I've seen him generously give countless people opportunities in this business, and I'm no exception. Thanks to Miles Dale and Searchlight for having our backs the entire way. And thank you to the wonderful sound team who you just saw right up here, led by Nathan Robitaille and Jill Purdy, and all the other editors. Particular thank you to his mentors, Bernat Villaplana and Sydney Walensky. Your friendship and guidance is immeasurable. And last but not least, for an editor, thanks to his assistants Harrison Perez and Mary Jurek. Mary in particular, you were there all the way to the bitter end and kept us going in the darkest moments. So thank you from Cam. It was really nice for him to get this award.
And now, to present the final awards of the night, star of Battlestar Galactica and Dollhouse, along with the just-released Netflix thriller Devil in Ohio, Tamo Penniket, and 4-time Genie and 16-time Leo Award nominee, Gabrielle Rose.
Good evening, bonsoir. The designers behind our next 5 films transported audiences through time and space.
From spaceships invading the modern-day BC coast to the streets of Montreal, from 1940s upstate New York to dystopian visions of the future, even when their worlds were grim, their talent shined. The nominees for Best Production Design feature film are Tamara Deverell, Nightmare Alley; Carol Spear, Crimes of the Future; Claude Perret, The Atom Project; Zazu Myers, Night Raiders; Ludovic Dufresne, Noémie Diri; and the winner is
Tamara Deverell, Nightmare Alley.
Okay, I'm strictly behind the scenes, so bear with me if I'm shaking and all that stuff. Thank you, DGC. Nice to be back at my home turf. I'm from Toronto. Congrats to my fellow nominees, especially Carol Spear, who I worked with and who really taught me our craft. A huge shout out to all the set designers, the illustrators, the craftspeople, the carpenters, the painters, the sculptors, the set dressers, the props builders, the props people. They make the scenery, they make the film, they tell the story. So I can't do this without them. Of course, thank you to Guillermo del Toro and to Dan Laushton, our cinematographer, to Louis Cicada, our costume designer, who are all phenomenal collaborators. Guillermo's a force. And finally, a special thank you to my father, who's here, my date tonight, Bill Deverell. So he said to me, you know, and I came here because I could have my father as my date. He said to me once, a long time ago, when I was a young art student, fledgling, lost, at Emily Carr here in Vancouver, he said, why don't you work in the film industry? You know, it probably has a place for misfits with talent like you. Thank you, Dad, and thank you, everyone.
We have reached the last award of the night, Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Feature Film. As feature directors say, the big one. As TV directors say, well, why does this one go last? I'm looking forward to a drink soon.
In any medium, these 6 filmmakers have distinguished themselves this past, both as artists and as masters of their craft.
And the nominees for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Feature Film are David Cronenberg, Crimes of the Future; Denis Goulet, Night Raiders; Robert Boudreau, Delia's Gone; Agam Darshi, Donkey Head; Zoe Hopkins, Run Woman Run; Sarah Watts and Mart Slutsky, You Can Live Forever. And the winner is David Cronenberg, Crimes of the Future.
The award for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in Feature Film is brought to you by Sunbelt and William F. White.
I don't think Mr. Cronenberg was able to join us tonight, so we're going to accept this award in his honor, and we'll pass it on to him. Thanks, guys.
I think you got more to say. Oh, it's nice. Oh, you now have 2 options, apparently. You can take a night of winning and turn it into a night of losing at the casino.
Or make your way upstairs to the beautiful D6 Lounge for the DGC BC sponsored D6 after party.
And join me for a drink.
Can I do it?
Ready?
Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, the 21st annual DGC Awards Gala is now concluded, but the after party has just started. Please make your way upstairs to the beautiful D6 Lounge for the DGC BC sponsored D6 After Party.